Number 14 is, as Pharisees are those who seek to catch other people in their words. They seek to catch people in something they say and catch them and say, hey, you said this. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 3, you read that the Pharisees came to Jesus testing him. Ask him a question. Let's see if we can trip him up. Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife? They were trying to catch him. As you read later on in chapter 22 and verse 15. We read in Matthew 22 and verse 15, the Pharisees went and plotted together how they might trap him in what he said. I've had people who have come to my house, not from our churches, but they have heard this word that goes around, Brother Zach is preaching some strange doctrine. So they come to try and catch me in something I say so that they can go and publicize, hey, we heard him say this. This is exactly how the Pharisees were. They came to Jesus trying to trap him in some word that he said, and they'll take it out of context and say, he said this. Do you find you do that sometimes? The Pharisees were like that. I want to just read one more verse in that connection. That's Luke chapter 11, verse 53 and 54. Luke 11, verse 53 and 54. Verse 54 particularly, they plotted against him to catch him in something that came out of his mouth. And if you are a person who's always listening carefully to what somebody is saying, and you got some half a sentence in what that person said, and then you go and tell other people, this is what I heard him say. You are Pharisee of the Pharisees. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. You know how Jesus would listen? And that's the way I want to listen. I say here, I don't want to catch a person in some sentence or half a sentence or a word that he said and then quote him to denounce him. No, I say, well, maybe he was just being casual in the way he spoke, and maybe he wasn't serious about what he said, or maybe that's not what he meant. Maybe what he meant was something different from what I understood. A Pharisee will never make that type of allowance. No. I heard with my own ear what he said. That's why it says about Jesus in Isaiah 11 verse 3, he would not judge by what his ears heard or what his eyes saw. I thank God for that verse. I decided I will not judge about what my ears hear or what my eyes see, because I could be wrong.